Welcome to Studio B at Soulside Sound, upstairs at the Soulskate Skate Shop. I am Monkey925. I'm here to talk about some vintage recording equipment that we just acquired and give you all a walkthrough on what just arrived, and eventually we'll do a video on using it. But right now we'll just show you what we got. This is about a Alesis ADAT system from the early 90s, 16-channel system with a matching Tascam board and so on. So let me grab the camera and we'll take you on a little tour. So over here we have our machines, and this is two 8-channel ADAT machines and a 2-channel mastering deck from Tascam, and these two are from Alesis. They slave together to give you 16 channels of isolated recording power, and they're all controlled by this mixer over here. This is a Tascam M2516. It has 16 individual inputs for your microphones on the XLR and line in. There's also inserts on each channel for effects if you want to apply effects to one channel at a time. We got auxiliary outputs. Oh, excuse me. There's 4 auxiliary outputs and 3 stereo effects send and returns. There's also a 2-track in and out, phantom power, sub in and out, stereo in and out, and group outs 1 through 8. We'll switch your controls over here on the group sends. You have 16 channels here. As you can see, there is a 3-band EQ with sweepable mids and sweepable lows. On 4 auxiliary sends right there. Now these EQs mean that you can dial in the frequency that you want on the mid band or on the low band, and then adjust or plus or minus adjust from there. And it looks like the high is just set to something. I don't know what. We'd have to look in the book. Eventually we'll do that. And then there's a flip button for each channel, which means you can either send the signal out to the tape machines, or you can bring the signal in from the tape machines for mix down. And you plug 16 microphones in, send all those signals to the machines, and then when you're done, you play back the signal out of the machines and go to the stereo output right here on either XLR or 1/4 inch, and send that to that Tascam 2-track DAT. And from the 2-track DAT, you can make cassette tapes on this Tascam 302 mastering cassette deck and send those cassette tapes off for duplication once you have everything figured out. So that's all of that. Also, there's a big controller. This remote, the Alesis BRC, big remote control, that controls the machines once they're slaved together. So you can arm the channels you want to record on. You can play back, fast forward, rewind, punch in, punch out, all that good stuff. So we're going to take some time to load these machines into the rack, and then we'll get them all wired up and plugged in a little bit later. We'll take you on that journey as well. Real quick before we do that, I'll show you over here what this format looks like. They record onto SVHS tapes. So flip it around. That's okay. They're rugged. So these look familiar if you're a kid of the 80s, 90s. It's just a VHS tape that has 8 tracks of tape audio available to record on. So you pop 2 of these tapes in, 1 in each machine over here, and that gives you 16 channels of recording power And then once you're done with that and you want to mix it all off live, you go over here and you grab yourself a mini tape, these little guys, and that gives you 2 channels stereo record for mastering your mix down, and then you can master it to cassette. So that's the new rig. We've got a digital hybrid rig next door in our rehearsal space. Sorry, the floor's squeaky up here. That runs on with a computer. This system is computerless, so it's very much just look at the meters and do it all by feel, and it'll be a little bit of time before we have it all set up and running, but we hope to be able to take people's old DATs and digitize them eventually and just make some fun recordings with ADAT. So stay tuned for that, and we'll get you a little time lapse of me loading all these into the rack and kind of positioning them the way they go. So thanks for playing along. Alright, we're back. I'm going to load this rolling rack. We're going to load it like this, and then flip it up once we're done. It'll be a little bit easier to get everything positioned in there. Let's get you a little better view here. There we go. There's a good view. These up sort of signal flow style. So 2 channel at the bottom, because that's where everything lands when we're done. Got my screw gun over here. Go. And then this one's labeled 9 through 16. That'll go next. Our 1 through 8 machine. That'll be this one. And then we're going to set our tape deck and a few other pieces of gear. We've got a stereo receiver that powers some speakers. We'll put that in here too. Yes, I'm only putting 2 screws in each piece, because I only have 8 screws right now. So let's pop this baby up. There we go. Very nice. Nice and clean, yeah, looking good. These things on wheels makes it easier. The lighting's a little dark up here right now, but hey, so it goes. Yeah. Funny how you can do all this stuff with a laptop and an interface nowadays. In the old days you had to have all this gear. So this is my Sony receiver. I'm not sure what model this is, but it powers my speakers and my turntable, and you can take cassette deck and route it in if you needed to, and hear everything through that. It works really well. And then our mastering cassette deck is going to sit nicely on top of that. I don't have rack gears for these right now, so they're just going to gently hang out. That looks pretty cool. I think it's kind of space agey. I feel like maybe we can get away with the turntable on top. Oh yeah. Look at that, with the turntable on top. That's prime right there. I like that. That is very good. So that is everything so far. And we're gonna slip. I don't think this guy fits. No. Big remote is a big remote. So it's just gonna hang tight where it is for now. But we'll grab you right here. So you see we got our Tascam 2-channel mastering DAT at the bottom, 2 ADAT machines that give us 16 channels, our receiver that powers our monitors, and our mastering cassette deck all in one, turntable on top for super bitchin' tunes. And we do have some speakers over here. I have some JBLs as well in the other studio that we're probably going to use as our monitors, but I got these sweet JVCs that sound really killer for listening to records. My favorite Frank Zappa album. It's actually Mothers of Invention. Freak Out. That's not real, it's a replica. But it is a replica of the original gramophone style. I don't know what these were called. An Edison radio. Ooh, look at that. And I think that's it. Just walk you around my dirty, messy studio. We've got some new rack gear as well that we'll probably include in this build here shortly. There's a patch bay and a compressor, an inline EQ, and a feedback destroyer that should go next door. We'll give you a walkthrough of next door one of these days as well, so you can kind of see the rehearsal space and what's going on there. But that's it for Studio B at Soulside Sound. Stay tuned for a demo of all this good stuff when we get it wired up and powered up. Thanks again for watching. Give us a follow, subscribe, like, all that stuff you're supposed to do on the YouTube videos. And I'll keep making content for you guys. Thanks a lot.